Hello everyone, this is Anupriya,
And this is Siddhant.
Alumni Committee Coordinators, your host for today. We, on behalf of MET Institute of Management, heartily welcome you all to the Alumni Reunion 2022.
We know that the time does not stop for anyone, and it takes a lot to take some time out of your busy schedule in order to be here. And for that, I sincerely thank you all. But one thing I can assure you is that by the end of today's afternoon, you will feel nostalgic remembering your college days at MET. And we will be equally glad to be a part of this event.
We would now request our Honorable Trustee Shri Pankaj Bujbal Sir, Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai Sir, Dr. Swati Lodha Ma'am, Mr. Akhil Shetty Sir, Dr. Swati Tandon Ma'am, Sangeeta Tandon Ma'am, Dr. Nitil Kulkarni Sir, to come forward and invoke Goddess Saraswati by lighting the lamp and help us learn, reflect, and have fun at today's event.
Arun Patil sir.
In front of Goddess Saraswati, we are making a representation of all our collaborators, the student community, the alumni fraternity, the mentor fraternity, and the trustees. May Goddess Saraswati give us strength and foresight to continue our legacy of having an enterprising and successful alumni community. Thank you everyone for lighting the lamp. It is a pleasure to rekindle your precious memories as we take you through the tour of your beloved campus. It has been so long since you have last visited the campus. We would still take you through the nooks and corners, corridors and canteens, and classrooms to help you relive your wonderful days at the MET campus. Can we please have the AV?
यादों के पुराने एल्बम में छुपा के रखे हैं हमने वो दिन गुल्लक में बड़ी चवन्नी सी बचा के रखे हैं हमने वो दिन करती
sure after seeing this, you all might have started recollecting your days at MAT. Now, let's take this event forward by introducing our Honorable Trustee, Shri Pankaj Bhujbal sir. He is an active social and political personality. His involvement in technical and academic programs of excellence in education has made him a visionary. Sir is also connected with number of educational and cultural organizations striving for success in all walks of life. He has been a member of Legislative Assembly, Nandgaon region, Maharashtra. MET complex at Mumbai and Nashik have been developed with dedicated inputs, support, and contribution from him as a trustee of MET. I would now request Shri Pankaj Bhujbal sir to share a few words before we start the event for the day. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, Dr. Lodha, Tandon Madam, Arun Patil Sir, Farida Madam, all the faculty members, Chopre Sir, all the faculty members, dear staff, the MET family, and the students. A hearty welcome to Alumni Reunion 2022. It is a moment that brings back so many memories as we walk back in these corridors after many years. Some of you must have been here in last year for lectures, teaching, sessions, vivas, and also the Industry Connect. Some of you might be coming after a large gap, but the common thread is nostalgia. You all have some memories, some milestones, some meaningful experiences that connect you to MET. And that is what life is all about: meaning, memories, and milestones. We at MET wish to continue to have a mutual path that keeps us binded with the past while looking ahead into the future. Hence, it is crucial that our alumni take pride in their alma mater. In the post-COVID era, we have rigorously enhanced our Alumni Connect, on which Dr. Swati Lodha will throw light. We have been regularly having roundtable discussions with alumni every week for many months now that help us to know how we can mutually add value and voice. Dr. Pillai will help you learn today, while the staff members have planned some fun and reflection too. I hope that this reunion will grow exponentially and we would be able to adapt a few chapters in and out of India soon to connect with thousands of our alumni to consolidate the network. As you know, we have around 20,000 alumni of MET Institute. And they are across the globe. And we have tried to connect with them and taking their suggestions regarding the networking. And definitely that will help our future students to connect with them, and any help they need over there, they would be helped by our alumni. There are many guidance taken by the alumni. I am grateful to them that they have connected to Alumni Cell, the portal which we had launched, And through that, we are able to connect with many of them and getting many more connected to it. Yes, it definitely gives immense happiness, because where we study and again we have to come back and share our knowledge, our experience with the current student, it definitely remembers, give the memories when we were the students in Amity. I welcome you all to consider yourself as a part of Med fraternity and help your juniors grow under your mentorship. Your ideas, suggestions, guidance is welcome and needed. Please feel free to share and show that your roots matter. And have a great time today, and please visit frequently these corridors which are waiting for you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words.
Now, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce to our director. Dr. Swati Lodha ma'am is a best-selling author, a doctorate in women entrepreneurship. Apart from being a social entrepreneur, she has been the director of Jodhpur Institute of Management, Dean of Faculty of Management, JNU, and Director AIMSR, Mumbai. She was appointed as Chief Incubation Officer at MDI Gurgaon and currently is the Director of MET Institute of Management. She founded her first venture, Swash Private Limited, 24 years ago, which offers training courses to youth, professionals, and women. A recipient of many prestigious awards, she has mentored more than 10,000 individuals from different walks of life. Over to you, ma'am.
Our Honorable Trustee, Shri Pankaj Bhujbal Sir, Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, Sangeeta Ma'am, Nitin Sir, Chopre Sir, Dr. Patil, all the other directors, Pooja Ma'am, the old faces who have entered and come here after a long time, alumni of MET Institute of Management, and the students who are sitting there in the back. It's a proud moment for us. Sir, बैठिए, आप खड़े क्यों हैं? Please, मैं मान के सर आपसे ही कह रही हूँ, please बैठिए. So it's a proud moment because it's a mix of past and future here, and we meet in the present. ज़हीर कुरैशी साहब ने कहा है कि अनुभवों की पाठशाला ने सिखाया है बहुत, जो सिखाया है वो मेरे काम आया है बहुत. आप जिसकी धीरता गंभीरता पर मुग्ध हैं, उस समंदर ने जहाज़ों को डुबाया है बहुत. So, in every school that we go to, there are so many experiences which make us who we are. Some of them are good, some of them might be not so good, but then each experience becomes meaningful as we go ahead. And that is why every school, every institute that we frequent, we get to learn in so many ways. Every alumni of any institute, we all are alumni of one or the other place, and I know for a fact that we never forget the place which has made us who we are. Because of constraints of time, because of our busy schedules, and sometimes because the institutes are not that keen. For example, I come from a government institute, and I am after 15 years still waiting that someday my institute will call me back. You know, but it has never happened. And I know so many of my batchmates who want to do so much for the institutes, but then the institutes are not interested. And that is the fact of, the government institutions. And so I have never gotten a chance to even go and visit my alma mater in that capacity where I would want to contribute. I really want to do, but I have not gotten a chance. But here with the support of our trustees, we always wish and we always take pride in our alumni, and we've always tried that we can stay connected with them. And in the post-COVID time, we have kind of re-energized our commitment to meet all the people. And I'm sure you must be seeing some kind of more rigorous activity on that front. I met some of you who told me right now that we are getting tagged in your posts and we have not even met. I'm sorry, but I do that because there is a connect, and that connect is MET Institute of Management. And that is why I take the liberty to tag you guys, and that is how we are trying to tell you that we want you to frequent these corridors, as Sir recently said. So it's important for all of you to be here. And I would want to take you through some of the things that we have done in last couple of years, especially for alumni. And so that would give you a little idea about how we want to go ahead into the future. So the vision, mission, and objectives of the institute are there, and they have been there for a pretty long time. And the only thing we want to add here is a spirit of entrepreneurship as we go ahead, with some extra emphasis on sustainability. This is what we have changed in the last couple of years, because that is how the world is changing, and that is how we need to move with the tunes of time. So that is what the change we have done. We did a MMS alumni meet last year, which was in the hybrid mode, of course, because of the times that we were in. But we are glad to tell you that there were a lot of people whom we met during that hybrid mode. We had some fun with comedian Mr. Sunil Pal being here with us that day, and there was one of our alumni, Akshay Kanik, who sang, and then we had a great time meeting a lot of people. We also instituted some excellence awards last year, and we awarded some awards last year to our both the batches, that is the MMS full-time and the MMS part-time batches. And these were the people whom we selected after they were nominated by some of their friends, and some of them were self-nominated. So Mr. Rajendra Bhalarav, he was here from one of the oldest batches. Some of you might know him now as maybe your senior, maybe your batchmate. There's a possibility. So we found him, and there were others. I talked to Akash Sikka this morning, and he told me that he has moved to PwC. So guys, you need to correct that. All right. I have more updated news. He has moved from BDO to PwC as an associate director, and he apologized that he won't be able to make it today. But then there are people who are trying to stay in touch, and they are trying to mentor our students. So there are all these people whom we awarded last year, and I would request all of you to please nominate yourselves and your friends for this year, because we will be having an excellence award for this year as well in September. So kindly do it that you nominate yourselves, or you can nominate your friends as well. So that I was told by some of you recently that you've been adding your other friends to the groups. You have told them about the alumni meet in your own WhatsApp groups. आप सभी के अपने ग्रुप्स के WhatsApp ग्रुप्स ज़रूर होंगे अपने बैचेस के. So you could help the institute get in touch with the older batches, because we are in touch with all the newer batches, but sometimes it happens that we kind of lose touch with very old or the beginning batches. So my request is that it would be great if we can get in touch with those batches too, pre-2000 maybe, and it would be nice to have them come here and see that the roots are still intact, and then we can add wings to our institute by working on those roots. So your all attention is needed here. This was the second alumni meet that we did last year. This was for the part-time batches, and again we had the excellence awards given to them, and it was a lovely connection with all of them. And I can see one of them here, Mr. Vishal Tendulkar. We lost him last year after the award ceremony was done, and I still miss those few conversations that I had with him last year. And I wish that we could stay connected more and we could all go together into the future with more connection, more cohesion. So this is what we've been doing in last couple of years. This was all the excellence awards that we gave last year. You could see in the end Mrs. Rekha Rohira. So she's a principal with the school and she was one of the beginning batches here for the part-time course. And she was so happy to come back here, and we are trying to stay connected with all of them going ahead. Apart from that, for alumni, especially as Pankaj sir mentioned, we have started a Alma Shine portal, MET alumni portal, and I would request all of you to please register yourselves on the portal. And we did this alumni portal, we started last year, and a lot of you have already registered and you have started getting all the information from MET. But if you have not registered, I would request you to join it. And Akhil could help you with the connecting link, yeah, so that you can be a part of this. And we did our first event of a money masterclass for all women alumni and then spouses of all alumni. We did that with Ms. Preeti Rathi Gupta a couple of months back. And there are a lot of other programs in pipeline. We are also doing some digital marketing programs. We are starting them for, especially for alumni. This is what Pankaj sir mentioned right now. We are having some roundtable discussions almost every week now, where we are getting alumni from all the different courses together, so that there is an interdisciplinary connect, there is an interdisciplinary communication, and we can talk about all the different courses, like maybe pharmacy, maybe CDAC programs, maybe our PGDM courses. So we are bringing them all together and we have discussions. And I'm so glad to tell you that our honorable trustees have been giving time every week talking to all the alumni and trying to figure out that how can we do some kind of a wisdom tank building going ahead. So that is what we are trying to do. There's a lot of pre-placement training that is done completely by alumni, and we do it every year. And there are so many of them who've been talking. Thanks to the online mode, it has become easier. And you would be happy to note that we've been doing some of these sessions even at night. There are alumni who are busy throughout the day, so they say, we are free at 9 o'clock in the evening. Would your students be interested to talk to us at night at that time? And we've been holding those sessions because that is how time works. But then your inputs are so important that students are keen to talk to you all. And we do those sessions even in the evening while they prepare for particular interview sessions. So it's important that they listen from you and they get some wisdom nuggets from all of you. So we have been doing that. The Viva Voce that we conduct or some other sessions that we conduct, we have a huge connection with alumni there also. And that is how you can see here that we have a lot of alumni who are connected, and I thank them profoundly. This is a collaboration which we just did with the Seneca College, Canada. And here, this is an entrepreneurial program that we have started. And you would all be happy to hear that we have given an opportunity to one of our alumni who's in Canada to attend this design jam recently. And a lot of you are already entrepreneurs. A lot of you might be wanting to turn entrepreneurs. And so we at MET Institute of Management are trying to start with a fund of our own, which would help the alumni as well as the students to start something of their own in form of whatever plans you have. So it goes both ways. That is, you could help the juniors, you could help the students, you could mentor them, and at the same time, there is a possibility of keeping the learning ongoing. We all are, as I always say, that we all are lifelong kindergartners and we keep learning all the time. So it's important for us to continue learning with our alma mater. And so we have a lot of such programs, management development programs, guest sessions going on, and the alumni could take benefit of all of them. So we've, these are some of the visiting faculties who are already in touch with us. They are teaching here, and we are utterly grateful for their time that they give here. And the Another thing we have done is we have registered an alumni association for MET group recently. And with the registration of an association now, it is possible for us to start chapters in different states, cities within India, as well as some chapters abroad. So we were waiting for the registration of this association. Now it is done. So I would request all of you to please brainstorm and think about it, that how can we start a few chapters within our country and a few chapters outside, because you all would be aware of your friends who are in Dubai, who are in Canada, who are in different countries, and there are a huge number of netizens out there. So we can get connected with them and start a few chapters. And once we have a few chapters, it becomes very easy for us to coordinate and get a lot of things done for us. Because you all know how important it is to have a community, how important it is to have some kind of network. And we are sitting on a gold mine here with a network of MET alumni. We can make better use of it. We can try and stay connected with each other better, and the institute can help you get in touch with all those people who are sitting at lot of influential and meaningful places, and they can get lot of our things sorted for us, because this is how we work in life, where we can help each other, where we can grow with each other, where it is possible for us to solve some problems for each other and expedite some processes for each other. So that is how we think that a better alumni connect would help us. So we really wish, this is something that which is coming up, right? Akhil? This is something that we are going to do now, yeah? Okay. And this is, we will share all the details with all of you very soon about a program that we are just going to start. And this is going to be again something which is helpful for each one of us, so we can make use of it. My request to all of you is only one, that is, please stay connected. Thank you so much for taking out time today to be here with all of us. And if we stay connected, there are a lot of things that we can do together. Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai took out time today to be here with all of us. He's a great friend, and I keep learning from him without even meeting him. So I've learned so many things from him, especially his humility and the strategies that he makes. This person is an author of 21 books, and I'm sure it's going to go to 210. Yeah, so so nice of you to be here, taking out time for our alumni and our students sitting here. Teachers की आदत है, जाती नहीं है, कि हम हमेशा चाहते हैं आप कुछ सीखें. इसीलिए मैंने डॉक्टर पिल्लाई से रिक्वेस्ट किया कि वो आएँ और आपसे थोड़ी बात करें. लेकिन घबराइए नहीं, सीखने के बाद एक दूसरे से बात करने का भी आपको समय मिलेगा. We have planned a few games also, so you know you could interact, you could have some fun, और आपको कुछ पुरानी यादें ताज़ा हो जाएंगी. आपको शायद अपना कैंटीन याद होगा, आपको शायद कुछ लोगों को याद होगा कि उस वक्त फ्लोर्स बन रहे थे जब आप यहाँ आए थे, कुछ चीज़ें नई ऐड हो गई हैं, ऐसा पता चलेगा. बट प्लीज़ जाने से पहले थोड़ा सा घूम के जाइएगा. डॉक्टर टंडन इज़ हेयर. आप में से बहुत सारे लोग टंडन मैम को याद करते होंगे, मिस करते होंगे, राइट. सो मैंने मैम को स्पेशली इसीलिए रिक्वेस्ट किया कि आप प्लीज़ रहिएगा हमारे साथ. इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स टू सी दैट आप यहाँ हैं, और बाकी भी हमारे बहुत सारे प्रोफेसर्स हैं जिनसे आप मिले होंगे और आप लोग टच में होंगे. कुछ पुराने लोगों से हम और मिल सकते हैं अगर आप हमें बताएंगे कि आप इन लोगों से मिलना चाहते हैं, सो वी कैन स्टिल कनेक्ट यू विद ऑल दोज पीपल टू. सो लेट्स ट्राई एंड मेक दिस बॉन्ड स्ट्रॉन्गर. Let's try and make it better. Your suggestions, your help is needed, and it is welcome. So please stay in touch. I am always available on LinkedIn and email, and I think I have been trying to connect with a lot of alumni in last 1 year. मुझे जहाँ भी MET नज़र आ जाता है मैं फटाक से कनेक्ट कर लेती हूँ, और बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट से मेरा कनेक्ट हुआ है. मे बी आई हैव सम कनेक्शंस हु आर इवन सीनियर टू मी, ऑल राइट, बट प्लीज़ एज पे ना जाएँ, हमारे इंटेंशन पर जाएँ, ऑल राइट. एंड आई एम ट्राइंग दैट वी गेट more glorious years for MET IOM going ahead. Students, all of you who are sitting behind, आपका future आपके आगे बैठा हुआ है. Okay? So just imagine that you will be here after a few years and try to get connected with these people who have taken out time today. Don't hesitate in talking to them. All right, वो थोड़े से senior दिखते हैं, but it's okay. You can go and talk to them. I am taking this liberty again, that they can all come and talk to you guys, and that is how you build your connections, that is how you build relationships, okay? So please try, give the respect that alumni need, give them the importance which they deserve, and you would be a part of a beautiful relationship and a beautiful community. Thank you once again for taking out time, and stay connected. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a warm welcome. Now, it gives me great privilege to introduce our chief guest for the event, Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai sir. Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai sir is the founder and director of Chanakya International Institute of Leadership Studies at the University of Mumbai. This institute is world's first postgraduate academic program in leadership. Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai is rated as India's #1 best-selling business author with 17 best-selling books on Chanakya, starting with all-time record-breaking sales of Corporate Chanakya to children's series named Chatur Chanakya. He has readers from all age groups across the globe. Some of the many national and international awards have been conferred on him. Some of this includes Avishkar Research Award given by Government of Maharashtra, International Yoga Day Organizer given by Government of Chandigarh, Sardar Patel International Award for contribution to industrial development, and Rotary International Award in the field of education. He also teaches in various universities and educational institutions as a visiting faculty and have given over 1,000 lectures in institutions like National Defence College, Indian Institute of Management, Indian Institute of Technology, Reserve Bank of India, Bombay Stock Exchange, and National Stock Exchange. He has been a strategy advisor to over 500 organizations, including government and non-government organizations. This includes Indian Oil Corporation, HPCL, BPCL, Tata Group of Companies, Reliance Industries, Aditya Birla Group, Mahindra and Mahindra, and many more. I'm sure after such an introduction, you all might be eager to listen to him. But before that, I would request our Honorable Trustee, Shri Pankaj Bhujbal sir, and our directors, Dr. Swati Lodha ma'am, to come forward and felicitate Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai sir with a token of appreciation.
A warm good afternoon. Before I start, how many of you are married? Yes. I respected Pankaj sir, Swati ma'am, Nirmala ma'am, Arun sir, so many teachers, and of course the alumni. Why did I start with that question? They said the first 10 seconds. If you are not able to connect to the audience, you have lost it, right? So for those who are not married, I think I will reverse the question. कितने लोग की शादी बाकी है? You still have a chance in this alumni meet. Okay, marriages apart. The reason I wanted to actually start with this is that I believe that Chanakya Niti, on which I have written these 21 books and all that blah blah blah, will help you to live a full life. And I was asking Swati ma'am that what should I speak on? बोलते कि आप कुछ भी बात करो. That's the biggest problem. होटल में जाते हो ना, क्या ऑर्डर करना है? कुछ भी चलेगा. इन द मेन्यू देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड कुछ भी चलेगा. But then I decided I will speak on something, but I will actually expect some questions from you. So time दिया था 1 घंटा, but we already little bit delayed, so I will only speak for 15 minutes. And if you have questions, ज़बरदस्ती नहीं है. If you have any questions, we can address that and find out real solutions to real problems. And I've been fortunate that I work on Chanakya Niti or Chanakya strategies in a practical manner. Now, before we start, I know there are a lot of reasons why you have come here. One is the friends, right? किसने बुलाया चलो हमारे बैच वाले ये आ रही है वो आ रहे हैं. And of course, a good occasion to dress up and come on a weekend. So there are many reasons, but I want to start off by saying that I personally am involved with a lot of alumni communities and committees myself. So I remember quite a few years ago, our school principal called me up once. So I come from a school called as Vani Vidyalaya in Mulund, if somebody is from that area. And the principal called me up and saying that, Radha, why don't you come and meet? So she was my teacher and now she was the principal. I went over there, बोलता है कि alumni को इकट्ठा कर सकते हो क्या? So yes. And you'll be surprised, in 1 year, and that was not too much of an internet era. We just started with WhatsApp during those days. We got 11,000 people. Yeah. And another college where I studied and did my post-graduation, the trustee called me up and said, Radha, we know about you, your book and all those things. तब तक थोड़ा famous हो गया था. And then we actually got, so I told him strategies, मेरे पे मत छोड़ो, because I realized one thing, when you have to organize, how much effort it goes. So 11,000 people के लिए मेरा पूरा 1 साल का commitment था. But later on I said कि please put one of your staff members as a full-time alumni coordinator. And you'll be surprised, they made a portal, all those things. I'm sure Swati ma'am and everybody was working it. We got more than 1 lakh people officially registered. And then what happened is later on I told you that is not enough. Yeah, internet and WhatsApp ठीक है, but physically बुलाओ. And actually we had 12,000 people coming physically. We had to actually hire a ground in that campus. The third one I want to tell you, it's very interesting. We started looking at the next level of alumni. How can we have academic industry collaboration? And I'm telling you, this is something interesting for all the people sitting over there. So one of them came and asked one of our senior directors, saying, what is that you want from alumni? So बोलता, you tell us what you can give. So बोलता है, we want to build an infrastructure and all those things. And you'll be surprised, one single alumni actually contributed 300 crores. Possible है? बिल्कुल possible है. Bombay is financial capital, right? We have no idea what we can do as an alumni for the institution. Now all that depends on you during the lunch time. But let me come back to just tell you that Swati ma'am, thank you so much for calling me. Remember the day she called me up, she's been organizing a lot of my programs. I never tell her no, because हमारे profile both match होते हैं. The number one, she's an author of best-selling books. So whenever I see her book anywhere, I say, wow. Second thing that she's a director, I understand what the problems are. So I also run an education institution at Mumbai University. So okay. But third thing that connected was alumni meet. So that चलो ये हमारा इलाका है, home ground. Let's play. So thank you, ma'am, and you've been a wonderful guide to so many new activities that's happening. I've been part of MET for so many years, more than 15 years now. Not 15, at least 10 years actively. Coming, teaching, doing some programs, academic industry. But that's not the point. As I told you, I'll not speak too much. I'd like to listen to you. So I would like to tell you that, very important is that, how to live a full life. I'm sure, looking at the age profile over here, many of you might be around 40s, right? Please be naughty at 40. Okay? But let me tell you what a full life means. At this age, I am 40 plus, still not 50. But I can tell you, balance 3 pillars. One is called career, second is called family, and third is called health. In fact, Swati ma'am gave me the input. And she told me, don't look at work-life balance. It's not balance. All are included. You have to manage all the 3. But I know immediately after this program, Swati ma'am has to go for a personal commitment at the family end. So remember, ये तीनों अगर आप balance नहीं कर पाओगे, balancing नहीं, तीनों का commitment होता है. Then I'll tell you some Chanakya strategies. So first of all of you are educated in management. That's why you're here. From batch 1996 to 2010. All of you are almost in the midlife career, right? अच्छा, how many people have people reporting to you, subordinates? आजू बाजू में देखो, अपना profiling मैंने ही कर दिया. So you have people reporting to you, good. Others don't worry, आपके पास बहुत सारे reporters आ जाएंगे, just by seniority. I was addressing a group of real estate builders just 2 days ago, and they were addressing their problems and I was giving some solutions from Chanakya. So one of the things they said is, कि मैंने बोला कि हमारे जो juniors है ना वो हमारे company में टिकते नहीं है. So the owner is telling people don't stick to our company. बोले why? Then I said पता नहीं. So I diagnosed the problem and realized one thing, that many times you become a senior only by experience, not necessarily our capability. अच्छा तो junior बंदा है, एक काम करो उसको senior बना दो. But in your case that is not true because you are qualified with a management program, isn't it true? So you will go from management to the next level called leadership. I hope you are ready for leadership roles. And we don't understand the difference between management and leadership. You know the problem, I travel across the globe, I have taught in some 22 universities in almost 20 countries. And I realized one thing, Indians are trained to be very good managers, not great leaders. We hear in all WhatsApp, what are the things, CEO of Microsoft, IBM, Google, सब हमारे हैं ना, है कि नहीं? I'm not saying that, they are good or bad, that's not the idea. The idea is that they are managing companies, they never started those companies. True or no? So here is your chance. Of course, entrepreneur program and all those things will happen. But wherever you are, the first thing about your career is that think like leaders. Don't think like managers. It requires a paradigm shift. समझ में आ गया तो समझ में आ गया, नहीं समझ में आया तो जिंदगी भर समझ में नहीं आएगा. You'll be counting your salaries. And your whole life will be on increment to increment and promotion to promotion, right? People say, I don't believe in corporate politics. And I say, I only believe in corporate and politics. Because corporate मेरा जगह है, and politics, चाणक्य नीति, right? Believe me, if you're not able to understand leadership role, you will be stuck up in your career. So at this particular stage, if you look at it, you will retire at 60. But your value will be starting after 60. ये ध्यान से सुनिएगा मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ. You will retire at 60 और कंपनी का लॉ जो भी है आपको बोल देगा, and you may continue as a consultant. But let me tell you, if you are able to understand leadership at this stage, your value will be more after 60. You may be on a lot of boards, you may be independent directors. So you have a very interesting phase in India where don't think like only a manager going from promotion to promotion, but leading companies. I'll give you a modern example. You see these boys and girls in the courts, they are students, right? You'll be surprised, इनको management समझ में नहीं आता है. Even though they may be getting a formal degree, they are actually leaders. That's why they can make such fantastic presentations. I remember I was with the chairman of Tata Group, Chandrasekhar ji. So he said, हमारे यहाँ पे एक major problem है, and I'm sure many of you must be addressing it. It's called attrition, right? छोड़ के जाते कि नहीं जाते? All senior leaders know this. आपको भी problem आ जाएगा वो. And then we were diagnosing the problem. Tata Group has currently got 8 lakh employees. Anybody from Tata Group here? Okay. 6 lakh is TCS. Out of 8 lakhs, 6 lakh is TCS. And Chandrasekhar ji was head of TCS before he became the chairman of the whole Tata Group. So he told something very interesting. Talent crunch. True or no? So senior managers will go कि आपके जो trained लोग हैं वो आपके कंपनी में टिकेंगे नहीं. उसका reason आपको बताता हूँ. They don't think for jobs. They're thinking like मेरे को क्या creativity और innovation का मौका मिला. True or no? So these young boys and girls cannot be inspired by salary packages. They'll be only inspired when you actually make them responsible for bigger roles. So if you have juniors, believe me, they are a different breed, they are a different generation. So I'm sure all of you may be looking out for some alumni to join your team. Placement हो जाएगा, लेकिन उनको place करके फिर boss मत बनना. So the first thing I want to tell you is that you have to be a mentor to your juniors, not a boss to your juniors. Please remember this very carefully. Be a mentor to your juniors, not a boss to your juniors. आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव, राइट? 75 years. अभी देखो वहाँ का फोटो जो है मेरा, उसमें तिरंगा बाहर है, अभी तिरंगा नहीं है, तिरंगा अंदर चले गया. I understand India and the youth very nicely. They don't require bosses, and if you are bossy with them, the way your bosses treat you, they will not stay with you. True or no? What they require is your experience through mentoring. And the Tata chairman told me, what they are doing now. बच्चे लोग आ रहे हैं, ट्रेनिंग करके छोड़ के जा रहे हैं. It's lot of attrition in good companies also. So what they have started doing is called the programs for making them entrepreneurs within the company. And I'll give you 2 examples. Have you heard about Tata Clicks? That's an app developed by one of the employees, but he's a partner in that project. Can you make your subordinate your partner in your company? हम सोचते ही नहीं है ऐसा. The second thing I'll tell you within Tata Group. Have you heard about this 1 mg सस्ते में मेडिसिन मिलता है ना, that is developed by an employee, that app, and that is funded by Tata. Infosys has started doing that. So what I'm trying to tell is that for all those people who want to grow in their career, first of all, don't create more followers or subordinates. Create more leaders within your company. It's going to be requiring a paradigm shift. I'll tell you, I'm on the board of quite a few companies. मुझे याद है, I was part of a board where we actually recruited young boys and girls, management trainees बोलते हैं उनको, right? Many of you must have started like management trainees. And it so happened that the moment they gave the offer letter, it was a very nice industry standards ka package and all those things. So they're supposed to join, let's say on Monday or whatever, 1st of September, let's say. That person did not join only. So the HR called up कि आपको join होना था, आप भूल गए. बोलते नहीं भूल नहीं गया, बिल्कुल याद है मेरे को. But I don't want to join your company. So why? I got a better offer. I'm sure all of you face this problem, right? And it is not just the better offer. You have to make them responsible with new roles and profiles. So if you have any challenges of attrition, we'll have to work very differently with the young generation. So in your career, number one, don't be a boss. If you are being a boss, they will not like you. Gone is a generation when Britishers wanted employees or managers to run their bureaucracy, right? Aaj bhi, if you go to the UP Bihar belt, the most happening career is to become a collector. Isn't it true? IPS, IAS, chala gaya. This generation don't care for all your, managerial roles. They want leadership roles. Please think about this carefully. Become a leader yourself and make others also a leader. So we always say leaders are the one who creates more leaders. So if Tata is growing, and remember Tata sponsored the IPL this time. And I hope you know this, Tata is sponsoring Bombay Marathon also. TCS was sponsoring New York Marathon for the last 13 years before pandemic. So today branding is very important. We'll do a separate session on branding and all later on. But the last point in career which I want to tell you is that please plan your retirement. तो बोले यार अभी तो 40 साल के और 20 साल है, 20 साल कैसे निकल जाएंगे पता भी नहीं चलेगा. And when I say plan your retirement, I'm not telling you plan your financial retirement. All these guys will come and sell you a lot of wealth management ideas, correct? Mutual fund में invest करो, law of compounding, वो सब ठीक है. I'm sure all of you are sorted. India में बहुत पैसा है भैया, बहुत पैसा है. But the thing is that we don't plan our retirement. I'll tell you how to retire from your career. Your company should do better after you have left. A lot of people feel insecure. Try to make your vice captain a captain. Suppose you are a captain. And होता नहीं इस देश में. We are born in a system where competition is always given a lot of applause. Isn't it true? From competition you should think about collaboration. Number 2 को number 1 बना के retire होना, ये आपका responsibility है. So your retirement should not happen after 20 years. Plan your retirement now. So if you are 40, you got 20 years to plan. Who are the guys who will come and work better than you? Chanakya models, we'll talk about it some other time. So first, full life, your career, make a lot of money. And I'll tell you one formula. I don't know whether you're aware of this. Young boys and girls will tell you. Their retirement concept is different from ours. You know what is their formula? I was in a college very recently. The boys told me this. Boys means boys and girls, okay? They say our concept of retirement is R at 40. Have you heard about this concept, anybody? R at 40? There you are. Retirement at 40. Hamara 60 tha. They say I want to retire at 40 and 40 to 60, I want to travel the whole world. Spend money. So remember one thing, your retirement is already late. You should be retiring now and enjoying your life. And doing what? Actually, you should be doing your spiritual practices more. हमारे यहाँ पे ना इतना हो गया. So plan your career in such a way so you are, when you are exiting, you feel that, next guy is going to take the company forward. Not, कि देखो मेरे ज़माने में कितना चल रहा था, अभी अच्छा नहीं लगता है. क्यों? वो next वाला अच्छा नहीं है. He should tell you, मेरे गुरु मेरे को सिखा के गए कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को कैसे आगे बढ़ाना है. Okay? So first part is your career. Second is your family. Right? I come back to marriage because marriage is such an important institution in India. Okay? I hope you are spending more time with your families now. And with the lot of generation over here, you are also parents, and very soon you will become grandparents also. Don't worry about it. But pandemic forced us to spend time with our spouses, right? But that forcing after pandemic should not be forced. Your Saturday, Sunday should be with your families as much as possible. And especially I would say that, everything can go away, but your family will remain. Your children can also go away physically, but your family will always remain. So please start investing your time, effort in your family from today. Without family, we are not complete. The second part about family is that, let me tell you that, I started taking small responsibilities in my family, and that has helped me a lot. Like दुनिया भर को चाणक्य नीति सिखाओ, लेकिन हमारे घर पे नहीं चलता है. My wife always tells me, सुरेखा, दुनिया को चाणक्य सिखाओ, मुझे मत सिखाना. क्यों? उसकी शादी नहीं हुई थी. तो तू मुझे सिखा दे. बोला ठीक है. Spend time with your children. So I started actually taking classes for my children, learning maths again. They are in 5th and 7th standard. Initially it was like, क्या इतना MBA level में सिखाता हूँ. I have got students who are doing PhD under me. And I'm saying, why I had to go back to 5th standard? So I decided one thing. 1 year, I will not spend time with just institutions which I go like this, but I want to spend time with my own children. Believe me, they don't go to tuition class. I am the first tuition class teacher. So it can be a small responsibility. It can be also entering your kitchen that you decide. Okay, but chota responsibility. It could be as small as, वो दूध का बैग बाहर लटकाना. It makes a big difference, huh? And you may not realize it because, we got so used to comforts now, especially with all the online things. And we say ours is a generation which is comfortably miserable. We have lots of comfort, AC hai, gaadi hai, sab hai. We are miserable because, I don't know if you heard about the Ratan Tata's latest thing, companionship. Have you heard about that latest project? So please go and see it. Whether you like it or no, after 60 you will be lonely, and your spouse is the one person who will be with you throughout. So start spending and investing time with your spouse, with your children, with your family. Children may not be with you forever. और आजकल का जो education system है, everybody wants to go abroad. And let me tell you, I actually go abroad to teach Indian values. And I got a lot of professors coming to India to learn the Indian model. So I'm not telling, today it's a global world. It doesn't matter where you are. But now onwards, as you go back, I'm giving you food for thought. And Swati ma'am and the whole team has arranged good food for eating also. But the first commitment should be for your family. The last point I want to tell you is that your kids are smarter than you, right? Sure? Every parent agrees. They have two advantages which we did not have. Access to information. True or no? But let me tell you, they may have access to information. Second advantage is that, information at the speed of thought. Google के ऊपर कर दिया तो हो गया. But let me tell you, they don't have wisdom. They may have information, but you have wisdom. So the last point about your family, if you have parents still around, aged parents, make sure you spend time with them and make sure your children spend time with them. Your parents may not be around forever. But wisdom is always transferred from one generation to the next. No. Wisdom always gets carried forward from one generation to the third generation. जो हम लोग बच्चों को बोलते सुनते नहीं है ना, मोबाइल मत देखो, all the mothers know. लेकिन बच्चे मोबाइल में ही पैदा हुआ है. It's like our generation of TV मत देखना, केबल निकाल देंगे 10th standard में. But let me tell you, if your grandparents are still around, if they are not physically around in your house, make sure at least once in a day they call up their grandparents. Believe me, they may not be forever, but they will transfer the wisdom. So there is a joke I had once read saying that why are the grandparents and grandchildren close to each other? Because they have a common enemy in between. So आपका नहीं सुनते, वो तो हर जनरेशन का प्रॉब्लम है, but आपके माँ पिताजी का सुनेंगे. So spend time with your family, your spouse, your children, but also make sure your grandparents are involved. Don't neglect them. They're the most wanted, experienced and wise people that we have. And the last point which I like to come to is health. सब लोग exercise कर रहे हो? Sure? सब parameters check कर रहे हो? हाँ? BP से लेके diabetes. Now I am to give a झटका. Okay? All of you are going to die one day. हाँ. तो कुछ भी कर लो, मरने तो वाले हो. Sure? So don't go to the other extreme. That just because I'm healthy, I'm going to be forever. Health doesn't guarantee you will be eternal. Health doesn't guarantee you will be eternal. But that doesn't mean you should not take care of your health. See, in India, our systems were so evolved, and the system actually made you live till 150, 180 years. 120 years was average. You know, if you study Mahabharata, okay, you'll be surprised. Krishna that we see, you know, and Arjuna Samvad. Krishna was 120 years. Are you aware of this? Bhishmacharya was 180 years. So हम पितामह इतने बड़े, and he was healthy to fight a battle. So be healthy but be ready for death. हमारा प्रॉब्लम क्या हो गया है कि we think we are eternal. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. So take care of your health. But my suggestion is to go back to Indian wisdom, be it Ayurveda, be it yoga. I'm not here, so you must be hearing so many people having a lot of health problems. But remember, health should not be only for showing off and having some selfies to put it on Facebook and Insta. Health should be for something higher, to serve the society. To serve the society. मेरे में ताकत है. I just want to stop here with an example because my average population, I would say the audience over here is around 40, if not fully 40. You know, there's a friend of mine, so I met him very recently with our families. He's my age group. He had a plaster on his hand, wrist. So I asked him, Venkat, his name is Venkat. He's a entrepreneur. He's got 200 chartered accountants working under him. He's got offices in 5 corners of the world globally. Singapore में office है, US में office है. Very successful guy. So I was asking Venkat क्या हुआ, हाथ को कैसे लग गया? तो बोला हम लोगों ने कंपनी में वो IPL जैसा टूर्नामेंट ऑर्गेनाइज किया. होता है ना आजकल दिस लीग मैचेस. तो बोलता है मैं इस एज ए रोल मॉडल आई हैड टू शो दैट आई कैन ऑल्सो प्ले एंड आई वॉज अ विकेट कीपर. मेरा रोल मॉडल इज धोनी. और वहाँ से बॉल आ रहा था. वन यंग बॉय वॉज पुटिंग द बॉल and I was behind, and while wicket keeping I just jumped and I tried to catch the ball. वो ball छूट गया, हाथ पे गिर गया और हाथ टूट गया. Then I told him, my dear friend, remember one thing, you are not 20 years old now, right? You are 47 years old. He is 47. The body will slow down. I hope you will understand this fact. Your body can slow down and will slow down with age. But your brain will not slow down with age. Your brain will become faster with age. Are you aware of this formula? So आपका physical activities कम होते जाएंगे, that is natural. But आपका brain का activity कम नहीं होना चाहिए. Therefore the last proposal I have, and Swati ma'am and all of you can think afterwards, that is, do you want a program at your age group which we call midlife career? And we can design it. So you come back and say this is what we want. If you got 20, 30 students ready, we can roll off this program also. So never stop learning, because the brain is a very interesting thing. The more it is active, the more it functions. So the greatest strategies are the one who have got age on their side. So you can never retire. And I just want to tell you the last Chanakya Niti. Instead of speaking so much on Sanskrit sutras and PPTs, I said one simple one. A lot of my videos are viral, and this is what I was telling Swati ma'am also. This is only a 10-second video, but got more than million hits. And I'll just tell you what that formula is. In life, never fight a battle alone. Take some friends along. याद रखना, यहाँ पे alumni meet करके फोटो लेके WhatsApp ग्रुप से कुछ नहीं होता. That is the starting point. But whenever you have a problem, make sure you call that person. Go and meet that person. Believe me, he or she can give you the moral support that you really require. Isn't it true? So just want to tell you about an alumni. Again, back to the school. So there was a guy from US, and you know what happened to लोग आजकल आपने देखा pandemic के बाद बहुत सारे US से आते हैं ना, and they have alumni reunions. So this guy came, but he did not wait to only organize. You know what he did? He made a list of 120 people. And can you believe he actually planned from US in the pandemic? He met each of them, 120 people, one to one, going to their houses in different cities. तो यहाँ पे अगर 40-50 लोग आ गए, there are so many people who have not come, right? I'm not telling you go and meet them, but make a list. WhatsApp group में आपका numbers तो है ना, एक call जरूर करना. Believe me, they'll be with you throughout. आपके पोजीशंस चले जाएंगे, जॉब्स चले जाएंगे, आप रिटायर हो जाएंगे, फैमिली में भी शायद कुछ होगा, बट योर फ्रेंड्स आर फॉर एवर. सो याद रखिए, नेवर फाइट अ बैटल अलोन, टेक सम फ्रेंड्स अलोंग. विद द टाइम दैट आई हैव, इफ देयर आर एनी क्वेश्चंस आई कैन एड्रेस इट. बस इतना ही आज के लिए. So you can ask anything from career to health to family. If you have questions, huh? Otherwise, time to enjoy and meet the canteen places. Yes, sir. You have a mic?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
It's an honor to meet you, and that too through my institute. So I can call it a Sone Pe Suhaga movement.
Thank you.
Thanks. Big fan to be through on that. I have read a lot about you, and I want to ask you in specific about your visit to Kailash Parvat,
Wow.
where I think you have visited 4 times over there.
Yeah.
And that is something what changed your life and gave
Yeah.
you a purpose for life. So if you can just throw some light on that.
Thank you. So, your good name?
I am Vikram.
Vikram. Thank you, Vikram, sir. So, I know where you come to know about it, where you came to know about the Ranveer show. So, I'm very popular among the youth, right? See, I'm more popular among them. And that's the formula for success. Don't try to impress people of your age group. Try to connect to the next generation. So, Ranveer Alabadia is a very famous YouTuber. How many of you heard the name? See, a lot of people, good. And by the way, his career is bigger than our careers. He makes 2 crore rupees every year. क्या बात कर रहे हो? Real है वो. Anyway, there was one episode in Ranveer Alabadia's show about Kailash Mansarovar, and I know where it comes from. So experience. श्रावण का महीना चल रहा है ना? I hope you remember Indian calendar also. कौन सा महीना चल रहा है? Sir, August. According to Indian calendar, which is the महीना? Shravan. Okay, and of course every particular state will have a different. Like if you are a Malayali, it's called Chingam Masam, right? Any Mallus you? We don't even know our calendars. Anyway, coming back. Very interesting question. Now coming back, I've been very fortunate. The first company that I started was in the year 2000. And the company was on spiritual tourism. I have not only gone to Kailash 4 times, I have taken hundreds of people over there. Have you gone to Kailash Mansarovar, anyone? So make it a life experience. It's a target in your life. रिटायर होने के बाद पैसे कमाने के बाद क्या करोगे? अपने फैमिली के साथ घूमने जाओ. Don't only do world tours, take Indian tours also. And every tour in India is incomplete without visiting a temple or an ashram, right? Even honeymoon is not complete without visiting a temple. Anyway, coming back to Kailash Mansarovar, I've been very fortunate that people look at me once in a lifetime. I've gone there 4 times. And the reason I've stopped is not because of me, because of government policy. Unfortunately, Kailash Mansarovar is in Tibet, which is taken over by China. So we require special permission, and because of the India-China conflict, we can't go there. Now let me tell you, if you want to go to Kailash Mansarovar, first things first, start local, think global. So you have a Shiva temple around, start going there every Monday. Put an application. Say, मुझे बुला लेना, वो arrange कर देगा. I know people have money, health, but they can't go. I know people have no money, nothing. I have taken people at 88 years also. I have taken people who are 8-year-old child also. Officially it's not permitted. But special permission का 8 साल का बच्चा और 88 years का grandfather भी गए हम लोग. So what I'm saying, if you want to visit Kailash Mansarovar, God का blessing चाहिए. So put the application locally. But unfortunately the trip will happen globally. Now coming back, why you should? Since your experience. My whole life changed. In India, whenever you go to any spiritual place, it could be Shirdi Sai Baba, very close to Nasik. We have another campus in Nasik, right? I hope you know it. And I will request Pankaj sir to make sure all of you visit that campus also. And I hope you will give some lectures there also. Alumni is also for lecturing. Huh? Anyway, so coming back, be it Shirdi Sai Baba or any particular place, sometimes when you sit there, Shanti se baithta ho na puja vija karke, you will get some thought. Isn't it true? Ye karna, wo karna, and many times we take it for granted, but that's a blessing. I'll tell you what happened with me in Kailash Mansarovar. When I was in Kailash, I remember I had taken a group of 60 doctors from US, not 1 or 2. Second group was 80, uske बाद 100, ऐसा सब था. So I remember myself and my wife, we had gone that trip. There were 60 doctors and all. And Americans are very good in tourism. Like Indian क्या करते पता है क्या? पैसा देने के बाद वो गाली देते हैं. You did not give us good service, you did not give us this, you did not give us that. But Americans are not like that. They understand the practicality. By the way, there are no toilets there. You have to go in open. Be ready for all the hardships. But I remember, after all that hardships, you have to go through Nepal and all those things, so much headache. But once I saw that Kailash Parvat, it was such a fulfilling moment. It's like Tirupati जाते हो ना, तो इतना गर्दी में वो so शिरडी wherever you go, even Siddhi Vinayak for that matter, wherever you go, so much gardi, but the moment, that 2 seconds when you see that Lord in front of you, you feel it was worth it, isn't it? So the moment I saw Kailash, it was so fulfilling. And I remember one thought flashed my mind. I don't know how it came. And the thought came in saying that you have to dedicate your life to promote Chanakya's teaching through Arthashastra. मैं बोला छोड़ो यार, ऐसे बहुत सारे विचार आते रहते हैं, राइट? इट्स लाइक व्हेन यू सी ए पर्सन, इससे शादी करनी है, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है, उससे भी होना चाहिए ना. So I thought what Arthashastra, I had just started on my journey of studying Chanakya. But that thought came again and again and again. चाणक्य अर्थशास्त्र, चाणक्य अर्थशास्त्र. और हमारे ग्रुप में एक स्वामी जी भी थे फ्रॉम चिन्मय मिशन, स्वामी ईश्वरन जी. I went to him and said, there is one thought coming to me again and again. And we are in Kailash vicinity, Kailash and Mansarovar. And he told something, never take any thought for granted which comes here in a spiritual place. Then I went and discussed with my wife. Remember, Chanakya Nitya is complete only when your wife says okay. So I went to Surekha and told, Surekha, this is thought that's coming to me again and again. It's almost troubling me. So what is it? Saying that I should dedicate my life on the study of Chanakya and promote Arthashastra. Then said, okay, I will support you. I went back home. After I came back from Kailash, I realized one thing, I never knew anything about Chanakya or Arthashastra. But if you study it, it's so difficult. एक तो संस्कृत में है, हमारे यहाँ पे संस्कृत is glorified so much. And we never think that there is knowledge in Sanskrit except for spiritual knowledge. Then I studied, एक तो धंधे वाला आदमी हूँ. I was an entrepreneur. I studied everything. I did my MA in Sanskrit, PhD, and say, abhi kya? And since that particular time, I believe it's Lord Shiva's blessings that I've been able to write 21 books on one subject, Chanakya. I've been able to travel so many countries. So coming back, I believe not only Shravan Mahina, but every particular day, I pray and remember, in my house, if you come, please come to my house. There are 7,000 books I have on Chanakya and other subjects. और वो collection नहीं है, पढ़ा हुआ है. And the first thing in my library and puja room, it's combined. It's a Kailash Parvat ka photo. So coming back, thanks for that wonderful thing. So start your spiritual journey now. Unfortunately in India, spirituality is a post-retirement plan. मरने से पहले थोड़ा भगवान का नाम लेते. जो जिंदा रहते हुए भगवान का नाम लेते वो मरने के टाइम कभी नहीं लेगा. So if you have a dream, make God your partner in that dream. आजकल बहुत सारे motivational speakers आते हैं ना. You can do it, you can do it. बकवास. You can do it, but remember bracket में, only when God supports you. And if God supports you, along with your wife supporting you, you can never fail. So coming back, all my life is dedicated only to the promotion of one thing, Indian knowledge systems. Okay? Thank you for the question. We have time for maybe 2 more questions. Any questions? So, okay, no questions, and then we had time for meeting the friends. Yes, ma'am.
You started your journey for Chanakya in a Gurukul. Can you throw some light?
Thank you, Nirmala ma'am. I will just tell her question. I started my journey in a Gurukul. Bombay में रहता हूँ, गुरुकुल में पढ़ाई की है. A lot of people don't understand this model. अच्छा, let me ask you a question. All of corporate people, na, very successful people. How many gurukuls are there in India right now in the year 2022? Traditional gurukuls कितने हैं? बाद में गूगल में सर्च कर लेना. Minimum 5,000. आज भी है. So we think Gurukul is an old model. No, Gurukul is a standard model. And you will be surprised, you go back to your houses, आपके गली में शायद एक गुरुकुल मिलेगा. But the format of a Gurukul is very different. It's the connect between the teacher and the student, isn't it? It need not be in an education institution physically. It can be one teacher, one student also. Have you seen that movie, Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam? Salman Khan, Aishwarya Wala. Actually, that movie is around a Gurukul. Salman Khan comes from Italy to learn Shastriya Sangeet under that actor called Vikram Gokhale. याद है आपको? Where does he stay? घर पे. हमारे यहाँ पे unfortunately we don't understand the strength of a Gurukul. So I'll tell you my story, ma'am, since you asked about it. I think the question and answer is all about Radhakrishnan Pillai. I thought you'll ask some question on Chanakya. Anyway, so what happened is that when I came back from Kailash Mansarovar, there was a problem. I'm saying that, अर्थशास्त्र पढ़ो, लाइब्रेरी में भी बहुत है, कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है, सब बाउंसर. Okay? And then I've been very fortunate since my childhood. My father, my mother, they always guided me to spiritual path. And I've been studying scriptures, Ramayana, Mahabharata, everything and all those things for a long period of time, Upanishads. तो मैंने जिसे पढ़ा, अर्थशास्त्र has got 6,000 sutras in original Sanskrit. कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. Then I thought, क्या करूँ? So in Chinmaya Mission, which I've been part of since my childhood, there is a research institution in a Gurukul format in Kerala. And it's called Chinmaya International Foundation. It's in an ashram in Cochin. Have you heard about Cochin in Kerala? But deep inside there is a small village called as Peravam. And that's the birthplace of Adi Shankaracharya. So there's a Swamiji over there, the head of that particular institution. I called him up. Think about it. See, I called him up from Bombay and said, Swamiji, his name was Swami Advayananji. Swamiji, I want to study Kautilya Arthashastra. Swamiji laughed. I said, it is not Kautilya, it is Kautilya. जो बंदे को प्रोनाउंस करने को भी नहीं आता था, बोले लेकिन मुझे पढ़ना है, तो एक काम करो, आ जाओ, केरला में आ जाओ. एंड बॉम्बे वाले कहीं जाते नहीं, सब लोग बॉम्बे आना चाहते हैं, राइट? आई नो वन ऑफ द रीजन सम ऑफ यू हैव कम हियर बिकॉज बॉम्बे माया नगरी, राइट? अब देखिए ट्रेंड, देखिए, लुक एट द ट्रेंड. द पीपल फ्रॉम विलेजेस वांट टू गो टू टाउन्स, पीपल फ्रॉम टाउन वांट टू गो टू मेट्रोस, इजंट इट? एंड पीपल फ्रॉम मेट्रोस वांट टू गो अब्रॉड, इजंट इट ट्रू? बट गुरुकुल मॉडल इज रिवर्स. People from abroad come to villages to study the ancient system. So I thought, okay, Swamiji, no, we will teach you, I will do everything for you. But the thing is that you have to come down to Kerala and spend 6 months. Mala shadi ho chuki hai. I have to earn, I have to run a business. This is not the time. I spoke to my partner. I told him, I think I have an interest in studying Chanakya. And they're telling me to come to some Gurukul. You know what my partner told me? ये सब retirement के बाद ठीक है, पहला पैसे कमा. All this is good after retirement, but first you study all this after retirement, but now you focus on your business and career. Isn't that the first thing that everybody says? But fortunately my wife saved me. I am already married. अभी तो कैसे जाएगा Gurukul Virkul? See, Gurukul, generally the concept is that it is good when you are young. वो young brahmacharis होते हैं ना, दिखते हैं आपको. And the other concept is only for males. It is not for females. All this is a myth. So my wife told me, अगर करना है तो करो, मैं तुम्हें support करती हूँ. Imagine I took a break, I went to Kerala, I studied all the 6,000 sutras in original Sanskrit under a scholar, Dr. Gangadhar Nair. I came back, मुझे कुछ पता नहीं था कि क्या करना है अभी. सिर्फ वो कैलाश वाला याद था. Because if you have to promote Chanakya, you have to study Chanakya also, right? I am a doctor. Who made you a doctor? Somebody has to certify, right? So that Gurukul actually made me what is technically called an Indologist. How many of you heard about this word Indology? Okay, इस पर Google करना, yeah. So Arun sir knows. So you will be surprised. Indology is the biggest subject in the world now. Yoga, Ayurveda, Indian sciences. So when I came back, they told me to write a research paper. What is my understanding? When Chanakya application in business and management. That's what I did. I wrote a research paper and I got a certificate. It's called, I am a qualified Indologist. मतलब गुरुकुल में जाके सीख के सर्टिफिकेट मिलता है, ठीक है? They are modern Gurukul. And you'll be surprised, Times of India called me up and started writing. My book Corporate Chanakya came in, a lot of things. My dear friends, remember one thing, there is no age to study. There is no time to study. And just look around, if you got a guru, he will have a kula and that becomes Gurukula. Okay, and start right here, right now. Don't wait for your children to learn. I have one formula for all the parents over here. If you study, your children will study. If you don't study, your children will never study, because Bhagavad Gita says this very clearly. Yad yad acharti shreshtaha tadad deve itaro janaha. Children will never listen to you. Children will watch you. आप जो करते हैं वो बच्चे करते हैं. आप जो कहते हैं वो बच्चे नहीं सुनते. So I became a student at that age, and even now, in my house, the biggest thing maybe I have gifted to my children is reading habit. अगर मेरे पास इतनी किताब है तो उनके पास भी उतनी ही किताब है. टेक्स्ट बुक कम पढ़ते हैं, बाकी का दुनिया का सब पढ़ते हैं. Can you believe my daughter is 7 years old? Sorry, 7th standard, not 7 years. In fact, she is reading Sherlock Holmes. And she is teaching me strategy of Sherlock Holmes. मैंने कभी बोला नहीं. So why am I telling you, coming back to the Gurukul? Gurukul is not an outdated model. As Swati ma'am rightly said, we are going to the past to build our future in the present. So try to associate, even this is the Gurukul. And let me tell you one last point with the answer. You know, have you heard about a concept called as Purohit? पुरोहित पंडित. अभी गणपति में सब लोग घर पे बुला के गुरुजी, महाराष्ट्रियन कल्चर कॉल्स इट गुरुजी, राइट? यस. But unfortunately, we have forgotten it that actually a pandit was your first family advisor. हमको तो एडवाइजर ही नहीं है, हम लोग को ईगो है. I am taking all the decisions. Even Raja Ram, who was a great leader, had a Kula Guru, family pandit or guru called as Yoga Vashishta. And Mahabharata, once, I'll just stop with this incident. Mahabharata, the Pandavas were in Vanvas, you know the story? Not only Ramayana mein Vanvas hai, Mahabharata mein Vanvas hai. They lost that dice game. 13 years they were in Vanvas. And somebody asked Yudhishthir, how will you regain your kingdom? I don't know. Oh, mera bhai. No, you have to regain your kingdom. And Narad Muni comes in. Narad Muni is a strategic advisor to everybody. He is everywhere in every story. He comes and says, Yudhishthira, if you want to become a king, first appoint a Purohit in your particular group. So he appoints a guru. So what I am saying that yes, guru is very important, but Kulu Guru is equally important and very important. Going to a Gurukul is most important. And today I am earning more than what I earned before I was doing my business. So it's got a lot of benefits, and a true guru you can only get by God's grace. Thank you. Last question. Yeah, ma'am. You want to take the mic? Yeah. So everybody can listen.
So the book that I was very interested in, and the videos also that I saw, was about corporate Chanakya and our students, business leaders of tomorrow. If you could give them some strategies, maybe one or two in short, it will really help them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So my first book, which came in 2010. How many batch of 2010? Okay. 2010, 15th of August, Independence Day, 12 साल पहले, was Corporate Chanakya. And it continues to be on Amazon bestseller list in the top 10. In between was number 1 also. So why am I telling you that this book actually created a revolution? Coming back about the book. Okay, there are 3 sections. Everybody, it should be a must read. So it's already 10th year anniversary ho chuka hai. So what are the 3 things? The first thing, Corporate Chanakya, is you should think like a leader. I told all of you, don't think like a manager, think like a leader. Second thing, be a good manager also. So you can't say, abhi main game nahi khelunga. You have to be a manager also, but think like a leader. The third important thing is training. I hope you are training your people below. Don't leave it to the HR department to make HR policies of training. Every leader believes in training and inspiring his people. So let me give you the Chanakya example. You know what happens, unfortunately in India, there is something called on the job training. Isn't it true? पहले लग जाओ और उधर एक बॉस होता है, ये करो वो करो, उसमें तुम सीख लोगे. It is not on the job training. There has to be formal training. Chanakya designed the first leadership training in our country formally. You know what happens? Senior बन गए तो बेटा दे, अरे मुझे कुछ आता ही नहीं है. And you have some experience, do it. Our experience doesn't guarantee. In fact, I used to work for a company where we actually gave a 100 crore deal to Sachin Tendulkar. I used to work with a person called as Mark Mascarenhas. And मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि Sachin Tendulkar was identified first as a potential cricketer by Dilip Vengsarkar. And again, I work with the cricket teams and all, BCCI and all that. So we always tell this, just because you have potential doesn't guarantee you are a great player. You require a coaching, that's it, right? So Chandragupta Maurya was identified as a potential leader. But उसको कुर्सी पे नहीं बिठाते, उसको training देते, isn't it true? So in your teams, if you find somebody who's got a potential, first identify the potential, then train the person and then give an opportunity. So Chanakya's nitis are very practical. I'll tell you one more thing which probably will help you. See, remember Chanakya said there are 2 stages of interviews in your life. And there are 2 generations here. The first interview is to get a job, isn't it true? In the second stage of a career, you take an interview, isn't it true? First stage में आप interview attend करते हो, second stage में आप interview लेते हो, isn't it true? So you prepare differently for both the things. Suppose you are attending an interview, Okay, you have to prepare your biodata, and there's training programs given कि क्या सवाल पूछने हैं, कैसे जवाब देना, all those things, right? But when you become a boss, you are, let's say, HOD of a department. Okay, you have to interview people. Aren't you supposed to prepare differently? The questions that you ask, because I'm on the interview board, Chanakya will help you. So I'll give you a small example. Typically, when you attend an interview, there's a standard questions. Tell me what do you see yourself 5 years from now, isn't it? And typically, tell me something about yourself. Have you heard these questions? I remember I was reading a joke somewhere. So one person, fresher from like an MBA institution like us, he came, or उसको typical standard question. Tell me something about yourself. You know what that boy said? Everything that you want to know about me is already there in the biodata. Ask something good so that I can get interested in working in your company. So don't be started. Chanakya says, if you want to know somebody whom are hiring, you should know their psychology and their attitude, not just experience and talent. Talent can be created. Experience you will have with time, but attitude you cannot buy with money. True or no? So test the attitude. And in my book, Corporate Chanakya, there are examples I have given how to take an interview, but I'll just tell you one. The first thing you ask in an interview is, who is your role model? You will know about the person's psychology उधर ही. अगर वो लड़का या लड़की बोलता है, my role model is my mother, then you know that person has got family values, isn't it true? Suppose the person says, my role model is Mahatma Gandhi, so you know that's his philosophy. Or somebody says, my role model is Elon Musk. So then you ask the next question, you go to the next level. Acha, let's say Elon Musk. Why Elon Musk is your role model? Then you come to like to Elon Musk, that means he continuously धंधे के बारे में सोचता है. He's an entrepreneur by nature. Why Elon Musk? Then the person answers, because he is taking everybody on moon. Then cross question. If you want to go to moon, why Elon Musk? You can go through ISRO also, right? ISRO. Then he will answer, नहीं सर मैंने उसके books पढ़े हैं, वो पढ़े हैं. Then you ask him deeper question. कौन सा book पढ़ा है Elon Musk का? This book. Tell me something about his childhood. You understand? So I don't know, I know. So you get to the psychology. Today you work with people. No, you work with the attitude of people. So coming back, just to winding up the question, you can actually become a great manager or a leader using Chanakya's techniques. So you should know how to work with your team, inspire them. Just want to stop here. Since we are in Maharashtra, one of the greatest leaders was Shivaji, Chhatrapati Shivaji. And there's a very famous Marathi song. If you have not heard, you can Google it. Shur Ami Sardar Amala Kai Kunachi Bhiti. That is leadership. Shur, fearless is our leader. Kai Kunachi Bhiti. Suppose तुम खुद डर रहे हो, मेरा जॉब रहेगा कि नहीं रहेगा. What will you inspire your employee? वो आपको जाके बोलेगा सर आपके लिए भी जॉब है. No commitment to organizations, no commitment to people. I know somewhere we are becoming very selfish. Let me tell you, remember in Japan is rated among the highest countries in the world in patriotism. And it is not about government jobs, even private jobs. You join a company, you retire with that company. Why? Because the inspirational level is very high. So how to become an inspirational leader is where Chanakya comes in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for such an insightful and informative address. Now I would like to request all the alumni present here to please come forward in order to have a group photograph with Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai sir as well as with the faculty members. Please.
इतने सारे आएंगे स्टेज पर.
पुराने एल्बम में छुपा के रखे हैं हमने वो दिन, गुल्लक में पड़ी चवन्नी सी बचा के रखे हैं हमने वो दिन।
हेलो
ना किसी मंजिल की फिक्र देगी, जीने की उम्र थी दोस्ती
हेलो
और दोस्तों से उधार के दिल थे।
I request all the alumni to please take their seats because there are some more activities that we wish to continue with, and we want to listen from you also. So some reflections of your times would be needed. Yeah. So I would request some of you to come forward and share your views before we start with the fun activities. Yeah. Thank you so much. हाँ 5 मिनट में खत्म कर देंगे, इसमें ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगेगा क्योंकि एक बार बाहर से देखें तो रह जाएगा।
I request the alumni to please be seated. Students and alumni, please be seated. Please take your seats.